order the City of Kingman Economic Development Advisory Commission meeting for Tuesday, April 27th. Time is 12, I don't see what time.
01.
12:01. Call to order.
Vice Chair Sixta,
Here.
Commissioner Fawcett,
He was just here. Here he is. I don't know if he heard you.
can you raise your hand, ready? I see you. Okay,
Oh, he has his microphone off.
Commissioner Sawaya,
Here.
thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Davis,
Jason.
Commissioner Davis, are you present?
Present, yes.
Commissioner Mendola,
Present.
we have a quorum.
Okay, we'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We have a flag.
I'm present. I just got unmuted, so sorry.
That's okay. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the
to
flag
the flag of the United
United
States
States of America,
and to the
republic
for
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. First thing, okay. First thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes for the regular meeting minutes for January 26th. Any comments? Questions? I move to approve the minutes. Second item on the agenda is consideration of public comments. Those wishing to address the Economic Development Advisory Commission need not request permission in advance. Action taken as a result of public comments will be limited to direct staff to study the matter or rescheduling the matter for consideration and decision at a later time pursuant to ARS 38-431 and all. Item A, consideration of public comments. This is a virtual meeting. Public comments may be submitted to Lisa Lewis. Do I read this whole thing?
You can just ask me if I received any public comments, which I did not this time.
Okay. Moving on to item 3, reports, staff reports.
Okay, Madam Chair, I first of all would, Joe Husband has joined us today from the airport, and Joe will give us a brief presentation on what's been updated at the airport and the advent of a new manager within the next week. So, Joe?
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, members of the commission. It's a pleasure to be with you once again. As Gary did mention, we do, probably the biggest news for us here at the airport is that we have selected my successor, a permanent replacement for the airport general manager position. And you may have seen some of the information that's been out. We've put out a press release recently. Actually, our public information officer put out a press release. We've made some notifications to some of you who may or may not be on our notification list. So our new manager is a gentleman by the name of Doug Breckenridge. It's actually William Breckenridge, but he goes by Doug, William Douglas Breckenridge. He'll be starting on Monday. He's already in town getting settled and moved in and taking care of all of his paperwork. Doug comes to us. He's a graduate of Louisiana Tech College in, I believe it's Monroe, Louisiana, with an airport management degree. And for the last 12 years, he's worked for the Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson Municipal Airport Authority in Jackson, Mississippi. at both their air carrier airport, which is Medgar Wiley Evers International Airport, as well as their general aviation airport, which is Hawkins Field. So he's worked for them for 12 years. He's done a variety of things there. He's going to be a great, we had a very robust selection process. We had over 20, I believe it was a total of 24 applicants in total. We selected 6 candidates to interview. And then we were trying to get the 2 finalists that we did second in-person interviews on, but we actually were unable to do so and wound up interviewing 3 because the field was so good. And Doug rose above all of that and has been selected. And he's going to be a great addition to our staff out here. So we'll look forward to having him on board on Monday. And then I'll be staying through the month of May, taking care of the going through a transition period with him and bringing him up to date on everything that's going on and all of the particularities of the Kingman Municipal Airport. So pretty exciting. It's been, you know, as I've said many times, it's certainly been my pleasure to serve here again. I love the airport. I love the people that I get to work with up here. And it is with, how do we say, mixed emotions that I'll be leaving at the end of May. So that's that news. Any questions before I move on? Give you just a couple more brief updates. So I believe at our last meeting, I updated you and let you know that our fixed base operator here at the airport, the FBO, that provides fuel and service to both the aircraft based here at the airport, as well as those that are traveling through our transit folks. But I believe I let everybody know that the FBO had changed ownership. Can I recall that? I didn't take a look at the minutes. I apologize. The bottom line is it's been acquired by a corporation called Air T that has a variety of aviation holdings throughout the United States. This is the first FBO in their portfolio. And the general manager actually is a person who's worked here over the years for different companies and has a great reputation and great relationships with folks here at the airport. So that was news kind of last month. I think that the effective date was March 19th, if I remember correctly, but I just want to make sure you were aware of that. And then we had, as you also, I may have mentioned at a previous meeting, the Airport Advisory Commission, your sister commission here at the airport, was changed in focus a month or 2 ago by the City Council. It's now the Airport and Industrial Park Advisory Commission. So we've now had our first meeting in February. March was canceled due to the cyber attack that we were going through, and then we've had our second meeting in April. So that's pretty exciting. Not a lot of difference in the approach of the commission, but a little bit broader area of influence and scope with also the industrial park, which, you know, we're intrinsically linked here at the airport industrial park, as you know, as you well know, and as certainly, you know, Bennett and I get to work together on all of those important projects that come through out here. And then just a quick update on projects. We are just in the process of starting a project to expand our airport fence line a little bit. What that will provide for us is more location, more area on the airfield to store airplanes, stored airplanes that are here for a variety of reasons. So that means more revenue for the airport ultimately, and the demand has been up, you know, through the COVID-19 challenges that the airports have experienced. We also expect that demand to continue to increase somewhat, and that's because there's a lot of aircraft in the fleet mix out there in the industry that are going to be coming out of service, off lease, things like that. So that project is starting today. That's going to give us quite a bit more room to store airplanes. And then we also have just finished some projects we've been working on to sort of beautify our terminal a little bit. Some painting, some new landscape rock in front, things like that. So we're kind of tidying that area up. And then just briefly, we are fully staffed. We had a couple of vacant positions that we need to fill. We're fully staffed at this time and moving forward. So with that, Madam Chairman and members of the commission, I thank you for your indulgence, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for Joe?
Joe, could you just give them just a brief shot of the release, how that's going?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we, as you, I'm sure are well aware, the airport is in the process of the next phase of industrial park development. So we've got a 1,800 acre release project that's going on that requires for us to get the land obligation released from the FAA, we have to go through a NEPA project, National Environment Protection Act process, which is we do an environmental assessment. Okay, so we've been in that for about a year, and we're moving along. Our schedule has slipped only slightly, a few days from where it was before. So we still expect to complete that in the October, November timeframe. Then there's a 30-day comment period where it has to, we put it out in public for any comments that might come back. So we have completed the draft environmental assessment document. And that's where we are in the process, and that's probably the meatiest part. Bennett and I, in the last week or so, we've been reviewing those chapters. We've completed that. We've got a couple of more minor changes to make, and that'll be submitted to the FAA, who's the agency responsible for the land obligation release in this case. So that's moving along. We've been through, as you know, the initial scoping, schedule development, the public meeting, the initial public meeting we had, which we'll have another one as we get closer to the conclusion of our process. We're meeting monthly with the FAA and the various stakeholders that are involved. We've sent out scoping letters to all of the folks that would have an interest in the environmental assessment process, like game and fish, the Native American tribes that are in the vicinity, EPA, ADEQ. So we've sent all those letters out, letting them know what we're doing. We've gotten a few comments back. We've incorporated into the draft report, and we are moving briskly along. So more to come, but we do expect that sometime around the end of this calendar year, we should be in a position to have a record of decision, or maybe it's shortly after the beginning of the next calendar year, but we should get a record of decision back from the FAA on that process.
Just for some of you who have been around for a while, Joe can tell you this is about 10 times more complex than it was in 1979 when we first got the first 1,100 released. The detail, the environmental, and the planning scope of this is very, very, very detailed. So the FAA said this one wouldn't be an easy one. So the one in 79, I guess you would almost consider was easy. So, yeah.
We certainly do expect that this will be, a successful process, that will complete it without, significant incident or any. I mean, we're going to get there, but yeah, there are a lot of steps to take and boxes to check and blanks to fill in and so on and so forth. So pretty exciting to be going through it. As I said, 1,800 acres. That's sort of the future of the airport. I'm sure that you all are aware that the monies that are generated through the sales and in some cases leasing of those parcels provide the development capital for the airport moving forward. Since the initial release, we've been quite successful. Now that land is nearly liquidated. We've got about 200 acres, give or take, remaining. And then this will be the next, let's say, 30, 40 years for the airport. And the airport continues to put itself into a position where it is self-sustaining. And that's a very important element to the FAA and to airports, at large. So once again, thank you very kindly for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, Deborah, if it's all right, or Madam Chair, excuse me, Sylvia Schaefer would be up next, and Sylvia is going to cover for both Josh, and then she'll give you the retail update. So with that, Sylvia, take it away. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon. Nice to see everybody again. Why do I have two? Okay, sorry about that. I'm just trying to get my video fixed here. Okay, so I do have a little sheet that I'm going to run through of all the things that Josh is doing. Josh is actually out hosting one of the first travel writers, Bill on the Road. And I guess it said he's hosting his first travel writer, Bill on the Road, since the shutdown last March. So that's kind of exciting for today. He definitely does a ton of stuff. So I'm going to try to get through a couple of them here that are more highlighted. Josh attended the virtual Go West Summit Travel Conference that met with 9 tour operators and representatives of the media. Let's see, we had our first full-size tour bus parked in the Powerhouse parking lot in April. So it's nice to see some of those buses coming back.
Finally.
Yeah, that was actually, wow, there's a bus, you know, so that's good. April 26th, ground broke for the footing of the Route 66 drive-through shield to be completed in July. That'll be fun. Tourism is hosting this Friday and Saturday, April 30th and May 1st, a Route 66 drive-through event at Lewis Kingman Park from 12 to 4. And quickly, I can just share a little image of what we're looking at here. Let's see, I want this one here. So this is what I'm trying to show you right here. So here's the drive-through event. And then what else do we have? Kingman is the host city for the High Desert Route 66 Classic Nationals BMX Tournament held at the fairgrounds, and the Office of Tourism assisted with room blocks by contacting hotels. Marketing updates. We have a new billboards graphic that will be installed in the coming weeks, early May. This includes one along Highway 93 and one along each entry of I-40, all of which are 48 by 14 feet tall. And I have an image of that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so there it is. I don't know, can you see the full image with the logo over here on the side? Okay, not sure, because for me, all of you are on my logo. So just double checking. But those are definitely the highlights of what Josh has been doing, and he's always doing a lot of amazing work. For me, then, and getting back to me, so let's see if I can stop sharing the screen now. I'm not that great on this, okay? You're sharing screen, stop share. There we are. For retail, so we do have some of the stores open, which you already know. I did check in with Cow Ranch, and they're still doing well, and they appreciate being in our neighborhood. Harbor Freight, where the building permit is in, tentatively opening in June. So we'll keep you posted on that as well. We have Dutch Brothers open, which everybody probably saw on Facebook, excitement already. So I don't know if all of you have had your first drink yet, but I had mine. Filiberto's will be coming next to it. The building permit is in for that. And really, I'm just continuing to work with the team, like Bennett and Gary, with our retail recruiter, Ricky Hayes, for larger commercial development, besides, both new and infill. And then working with a lot of the businesses downtown in the community for all our small business incentive programs. We still have a lot of activity with that. Recently, we expanded our utility relief program to include businesses that had to shut down during COVID due to the governor's executive orders, which would include like our hair salons and breweries, gyms. So we expanded that they could apply and qualify for a one-time $300 credit to their water, sewer, and trash, for the city of Kingman. So we're just getting that word out as far as the expansion. Lastly, we did have some Harbor Freight interviewing going on at the Kingman Visitor Center this past week. And so they're hiring their base, like their full-time employees. And then once they get that completed, they will be moving on to hiring seasonal. And Jennifer Hayes from Arizona worked here with me when the interviews were taking place, and we talked to the store manager, and that's something we want to make sure to try to assist them with, is getting those workers and the seasonal workers to help them get the store put together, basically. So when that link comes up, we will be sharing that as well and trying to help them out there. That's all I got for right now. If you have any questions.
I don't. Anyone else?
Sylvia, could you update them just briefly on the facade?
Okay, so our facade improvement program, as far as we still have applicants in process, we're getting more to the point where we'll start seeing the results more, because people have applied and had a time limit to do it, and then obviously because construction is kind of booming right now, there was a little delay in getting their work done. Everybody is on a waiting list at this point. So within the next, let's say, month or so, we'll start seeing the results where I can start posting a before and after of how this business was painted or this sign was added, and the community still really welcomes the program. Is there more, Gary, that I might be missing?
No, I think that was it, because that's been an exciting program, and we've already seen some results, but you're right, a number of them pending. So
yes, yeah, I'll be happy to share once we start getting those before and afters together.
Yeah, the drive-through shield that Sylvia mentioned is they broke ground and the footings are going in as we speak. This will be a permanent structure at the powerhouse for our new member. And you'll be able to drive through, and it'll be lit up at night. It's the old school neon. It's really the classic look of the Route 66 symbol. We will be unique in the fact that we will probably be, I think, only the second one on Route 66 to have such a structure. So you can drive your vehicle through it. You can photo ops, and so we really designed it to be as safe and picturesque as possible. It'll be, if you're looking at the powerhouse, it's directly across from the new entry sign. So it's across that drive and everything like that. So, but very, very, very nice looking, very retro, but we'll have built within it LED lighting to really illuminate and really show off your vehicle. So we're gonna have one of those, Kodak moment type of situations. So I just wanted to expound a little on that. So it's on its way.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Sylvia. That was great.
That was great, Sylvia. Thank you.
And last but not least, Madam Chair, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys some updates on some of the stuff going on the industrial side, transportation, distribution businesses, those type of industries looking at the Kingman area. We recently announced a new locate within the last month. Was a project that we called Glass when it started, and we announced that they're going to be moving into about 90,000 square foot of industrial space in the old, what would have been the old Southwire facility. And they are sharing that building with another company. So there's probably only 20,000 square foot left in that building. So our inventory is becoming less and less of existing buildings. We've got maybe one more large building, which is owned by Big Industrial, and they have about, I'd say around 500,000 square foot. We are seeing a lot of smaller users that are looking, and we just don't have the space to accommodate them. We've gotten just in the last probably month, 2 companies looking for about 20,000 square foot, needing to have dock high doors, and we just don't have that out here. So, which that kind of leads me to another project that is a land sale that we've been working on. And we've got 3.6 acres that recently went to auction. Staff worked on this property for the last probably 8 months from the first time that we started working with the potential user. This site did have some cleanup work that we had to do. We spent some money cleaning it up, getting it ready, which really put it in a good position to sell. And so that went to auction, I believe it was just this last week, and it's going on the council on May 4th for council to approve. And it'll be a local distribution company for snack food products to the Kingman region. We've got other projects that we've been working on as well. And what we do is we give these projects names, and we do that out of confidentiality reasons. And so one of the projects we've been working on since July of 2020 is a project called Rosie. And it's
what?
What's that?
Could you repeat the name?
Oh, it's just called Project Rosie.
Rosie.
Yeah, and all these projects, there's no really I guess, method or reasoning on why they get the name, but, the goal is to remain confidential till they're ready to announce, the project, if, you know, in the location they're locating. And typically these projects look all over, you know, the west area. So we could be competing against, Nevada, Phoenix markets, Utah. Typically we're not competing against California. They're looking to locate, outside of that area to service that market. So Project Rosie, we've been working on that since July of 2020. They're close, in regards to making a decision on that. We anticipate within the next month or so, hopefully to be able to make an announcement on that project. We've got another project that I'm working on called Fox, and that's a company looking at about a 200,000 square foot building to build. And again, this is entire West Coast expansion. We're on the short list on that project, which means we're one of the communities they are considering. We've got a project called Grow that is first started in October of 2020. This will be about 25 jobs. They have decided on a location here in the park. So we're just finalizing that project, going through some of the details on that. They're going to add about $5 million in capital investment, and that was a rail requirement project. We have gotten a lot of interest in regards to the fact that we do have rail. I'll hit on some rail numbers as soon as I finish up with some of these projects. And we've got some unique projects that we work on, one that we call mock-up. And this project is a little smaller, looking for about an acre or so, build a site so they can store some items and service the area. Our rail numbers look like, I'll give you February, March, and April rail numbers. So cars stored in February, these are cars that are stored within the park. There was 102 in February. We jumped up to 930 cars within that month in March, and back down to 630 in April. Cars switched for businesses, we were at 149 in February, 204 in March, and 157 in April. Joe mentioned the land release. He went into really good detail on the land release information, so that's going to be vital to the future of the industrial park and the industries that we're talking to, and the fact that we are getting, we're down to about 200 acres of land. Some of that land is going to be required to have some work done to it, similar to what we did to the 3.6 acres. So we are pressing forward on that. We're very excited. Don't really have any complications on that land release at this point. And as a reminder, that land release, we did put that on the ballot last November, and it was approved by the voters. So when we complete this release, we're going to be able to move forward with marketing that property without then going to, back to the voters. So with that, that's my update. If you guys have any questions.
Anyone?
Just as a note, we're experiencing a hailstorm here at the airport.
No, it's
Here's some,
yeah. Any questions for Bennett? Comments? Okay, thank you, Bennett. Next item on the agenda is new business. This is to appoint the chair and the vice chair on the Economic Advisory Commission. We're going to hold off on the vice mayor. We have 2 new members coming in, and we thought that unless anybody wants to pony up and be vice chair. Nope. Okay, then we'll wait on that. And I am nominate myself. How does that work? For chairman? Where's Lisa?
Well, anybody can, yeah, you have an interest and you can be nominated. It probably would be better if one of the board members nominated you.
That's
We-
what I would say as well.
I nominate Deborah Sixta to be the chairperson of this commission.
Thank you, Mary.
We'll need a second.
I second.
Thank you. Motion carries. All right.
You'll need to do a vote, Deborah.
No,
I'm sorry, it's just that, yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Okay, the vote,
Lisa can either do a roll call or you can just do all ayes. So,
Okay, those who would like to vote for Commissioner Sixta as the chairman of the EDAC Commission, please respond after I say your name. Commissioner Sawaya,
Aye.
Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Mendola,
Aye.
Commissioner Fossen,
aye. I can't find it.
and we have approved Deborah Sixta as chairman.
thank you.
Okay.
Moving on to number 5, announcements by commission members. Limited to announcements, availability or attendance at conferences and seminars, requests for agenda items for future meetings, and requests for reports from staff. No discussion on any of these items. I did want to say that I recently received the COK strategy plan, economic plan from our department, our staff department, and it's really good reading. And I would encourage everybody that's a member of this commission to download it, or I can send it to you and you can see what our guidelines are for this commission, what our goals are, what our benchmarks are, and how we get there. And so I'm going to highly recommend that because it really, really, really helped me. Absolutely. Any other items?
Deborah, Madam Chair, we're going to need to talk a little bit about future
Okay.
meeting dates so that we
That's
don't run
right.
into some conflicts here. Because of what happened to us in March, and that was certainly the loss of our computer system. So we can look at if we were back on track, our next scheduled meeting would be actually coming up in May, okay?
Okay.
And then it would go then to July and then up to September. Now, in May, we have opened the 25th, but the problem with that meeting is it would need to take place in less than an hour because there is a conflict and it has to do with the city budgeting process, which is that critical window right there. And then, or we can look at July 27th or June 29th. I think the most important thing here is to be back on track so that the council chambers, because from this meeting on, Madam Chair, we will be able to do a hybrid, meaning that if you wish to be in city council chambers, you may do so. If you want to join via Zoom, then you may do so there too. So we will certainly have that available, and I will either myself or somebody from the team will always be at council chambers to make sure that we guide whatever of the commission members are happen to attend that way. So if you would like to discuss a little bit, we certainly can look at the 25th. It would be short. And one of the things that, just so the commission knows, your chair and I have discussed the next meeting. One of the things that'll take place will be Ann Meredith, the city clerk, will go over all the rules and regulations governing commissions. And so there's a lot of little nuances that people go, oh, I didn't know that. And so I think that's important. And also too, when we sent out what the chair was referring to as the strategy and stuff, we would be happy to take, a 10 or 15 minute window to review the strategy and also the city council strategy looking forward so that you had that in your tool belt, okay?
Cool.
And when you look at it, so we can combine that certainly in the next meeting. We thought about it here, but again, we're on a time constraint because we have to be done with this meeting, it has to be like a quarter after 1 or 1:30 today because of some time constraints. All this stuff on the recording piece routes through the council chambers. So I just wanted to explain it so the commission didn't think, what are you guys doing? So.
Excuse me, Gary.
Yes.
Joe Husband had his hand raised. Do you have a question, Joe?
No, I do not have a question. However, one of the most important things I wanted to say in my report, I forgot to say, I mentioned the new FBO, the new owner of the FBO. And what I wanted to share was they will be making a presentation to the Airport and Industrial Park Advisory Commission on 17 May. So if you'd like to either attend that or view it on through the YouTube channel, I just want to make sure that you knew that that was coming up. So thank you very kindly.
Thank you, Joe. I think would be important. This is a very progressive company. I've listened to Joe's conversations with them, and they're going to bring a lot to the plate to the Kingman Airport. It's going to be nice.
So this meeting has so far taken 36 minutes.
Right.
So I think, I don't know, how do the rest of you feel about being able to do it on May 25th?
That would bring us back in line.
Yeah. Is that good for you, everybody? Nikki?
I will be out of communication. I'm out of town that week and out of communication range.
Well, we will have 2 new members.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be fine, but if you're not able to make it until the next one, but that way to put us on track, so we're back on track. I think I at least would like to come back on May 25th and just make sure the meeting's over in 60 minutes.
Okay.
Anyone else?
That's good.
Mary says yes. Rennie? Okay. That's affirmative, I see.
And do you want to have this as a hybrid or strictly Zoom? How would you like this meeting to be?
Well, it's easier for Jason because he's out at GC West to do it the way he's doing it. So at least we need to have that option. And then I'll have a conversation with the 2 new members and see what they think. But I believe, can we do both? Can the people that want to show up to a meeting, show up at a meeting, and the people that want to be on Zoom, can we do both?
Yes, that's exactly what the hybrid situation is, definitely.
Let's do that. And whatever works for everybody to make it happen, let's do it.
Okay, just a reminder to the commission, this is also your opportunity here to request anything that you or the chair would like to see on the next agenda or any particular item, because if it's not on the agenda, then we're limited to the discussion. So if you have anything you would like to see, then this just helps your chairman, when she sits with us and we set up the next agenda.
It just seems like there's a lot on the next agenda because we have the Roberts rules and then we have the
strategic update,
strategic update, and then we have reports from staff, and then
Okay.
I think that
Let's keep it short.
That agenda, and we can just move on to the next thing when we have our new members and see how everything goes. Yeah.
Happy to do that.
Everybody.
Happy to do that. Absolutely.
Okay. So
one last thing, you had mentioned that the commissioners read the economic development and the city of Kingman strategic plans, and I did email those out to all the commissioners earlier today, so they should all have it in their email.
Okay, great. I wasn't aware of that. And I am one of the worst infractionators for responding to an email with everybody in it. So I'm constantly trying to be aware of that. So I apologize. Yeah, I responded saying, I read it and it was the wrong thing. So anyway, we'll get there. I appreciate all of your reports, and your time is valuable. And thank you for being here. And can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, I just really want to welcome Jason on board. I am just thrilled that he chose to join the commission and was accepted by council. I think Jason, you're going to be a great addition. You're another set of eyes from the outside looking in, and with the tribal interest in the area, I think this is terrific.
Wonderful. Jason, are you there?
Appreciate it.
There he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it and look forward to and I'm excited to contribute in any way I can. Thank you.
Well, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. And if you're in town here anywhere, just grab any one of us for lunch if there's anything that we can help with, and we can grab the chair and make sure you're up to date.
Will do.
Okay, item 6 is adjournment of the meeting. How do I do that? I don't remember.
Just ask for a motion.
Ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second?
second it.
Meeting is adjourned. I'll see you all later. Thank you so much.